Hi. Hello. Impromptu Ace Attorney stream because I was bored and I felt like it. And I don't know. I just wanted to do it. I thought it would be an enjoyable experience for me. So, that is what we're doing today. Also, two things I want to bring up, just sort of generalistically. One, this will also be on the YouTube video just because fucking I'm not editing this out. But I've been uploading every single VOD onto the YouTube channel for this entire thing. So like literally every single VOD I have has been uploaded on that channel, and I've sectioned out like where I'm doing like the starting soon thing and where I have the other stuff, so you know. And the other thing is, why am I not lighting up? Why am I not lighting up on the... Oh, there I am. Okay. The other thing is, I have this new thing for the Fugi so that I can just, like, not be, like, a scribble that looks like a 2-year-old made it. This art was made by my good friend Luna, who made all of the... I don't think she's made any sort of tweet about it, but she made this for me and she made this for me and for some other friends, because we are going to be streaming Phasmophobia on Thursday. Yeah, and she hasn't made any sort of tweet about it, I think. Let me see. I want to see if she has tweeted about it, and I just like never fucking looked. And it does not look like she has tweeted about it. Okay, but yeah, she'll tweet about it, I guess, eventually, probably the day of or something. But yeah, so when that happens, I'll also tweet about it saying that that's happening. But it is Thursday at the time of recording or streaming this. I don't know. The YouTube video will probably be like, oh, well, it's already up. It's already up. It's already done. We did it. Move on. Yeah. So, that out of the way, I'm gonna turn this music off. And let's play some Ace Attorneys, shall we? Game capture. Alright. Now I just have to... There we go. Oh, that's loud on my end. Alright, that should be good. Let me know if things are too loud, or if things are too quiet, or if things are too stupid. That last one I can't do anything about, unfortunately. So, let's begin where we left off after that long stream, which, by the way, can I just say, I feel very good about that last stream. I enjoyed that a lot. I have my hoodie behind me. Hold on. Throw it. If I have to get up later to get that because I'm cold, I'm going to lose my mind. Anyways, 23rd of February, 11:32 a.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Oh, God. I'm not ready to do fucking Saseki's voice first thing on the stream. God damn it. Okay. Joyful, jubilant, jumping jacks. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, Mr. Natsume, I'm so pleased for you. I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, yeah, I remember now. Locum Studio Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, and non-locum judicial assistant Miss Mikatoba Esquiress. Fuck! Now, finally, at long last, there can be proof. Proof that I'm innocent and that my tea is innocent. Ah, good morning, my dear fellows. And he shows up, like, half the trial late. I appreciate it. You fuck. Herlock Sholmes! May you drink my tepid tea and fall forever silent. What? I thought the tea was innocent. Fucking Saseki, what the fuck? You can't say that shit, man. Especially when you are currently in the process of being accused of murder from your tea that we just proved to be innocent. Shut the fuck up. Could you imagine if the bailiff hears that? He's like, oh shit, he admitted it. Get him, guard. Like, Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you came. How wonderful. Please save your derision. I know what you're all thinking. That you're late as fuck. Good morning, he says, when it's very nearly time for luncheon. Your scorn is written clearly across your faces. Nobody said or thought anything of the sort. I did, I won't lie, I thought it. The truth is, I was determined that today would be the day, as sleep seduced me last night, I thought. Tomorrow, for once, I shall not oversleep. I'll rise early and be present in court to support my companions. Such spirited determination has a beauty of all... Such spirited Fuck! I'm gonna hurt my throat so fast. Such spirited determination has a beauty all of its own, does it not? Oh, yes! And then I began to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep, I queried. Why, time after time, do they make the same foolish blunder? And the answer came to me at once. It's so delightfully simple. People oversleep because they sleep. Thank you, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I really appreciate it, man. Well, is that not an astute insight into the matter? Oh, yeah, sure, man. Upon which realization, I attempted an experiment. I didn't sleep a weekend all night. And the results? By first light, I was exhausted and began to be assailed by fits of drowsiness. Yeah, no shit. Shocking. And so the conclusion of last night's experiment is a good night's sleep is quite simply essential. Yes, I think most of us probably knew that already. Well, the argument can be made for Saseki didn't know. Well, he knows, but what others presuppose, I prove by experimentation. That, my dear fellow, is the scientific method. That has already been proven, like, thousands of years ago by, like, basic-ass humans. Ah, yes, one more thing. Do you remember this? Oh, the vial that I forgot what it does. Yes, of course. It's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink in the hospital. Oh, right, I forgot. I thought it was, like, a thing he had in his house for tea. Oh, you didn't manage to... It was a laborious task, as the bottle was near empty. But such inconveniences do not hinder Jones. Hinder, not hinder. I managed to confirm that it contains strychnine. Oh, shit! So, I was right. Perhaps, though of course such circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Miss Green's guilt. I shall leave the bottle in your care now. But licking the inside of the neck is not recommended. No fucking shit, my man. Sorry, I need a drink. The bottle of poison has been entered into the court record. Is that green? Could I have a word? Oh, could I have a word? Sorry, there was something in my throat there. That's his morning voice. Everyone else, when they have a morning voice, they're just like, good morning. Like, they're just really drowsy. For him, he turns into a fucking, excuse me there. Do you have a moment? And he wakes up fully, it's just like, hello. Grayson, how good of you to come. Forget it. Excuse me. Wait a minute, Inspector. The fuck, bitch? I, don't wish to make a nuisance of myself. From the look on your face, I'd say it's someone else who you think is making a nuisance of himself. My dear Inspector, please speak freely. Pretend that I'm not here. Believe me, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me. Do you have the results, Inspector, of the investigation of Mr. Shakespeare's room? Not yet. Shouldn't be long now, though. No, I'm here about something else. That dead convict, actually. Oh, you mean the man from this newspaper article we discovered yesterday in Mr. Shakespeare's room? A man by the name of... yes, Selden. No last name because he's built different. I went through the archive at the yard and dug out the fellow's file. There's something in there that... well, it caught my eye. Something caught your eye? What, Inspector? What? Tell us, bitch. I've copied out the relevant parts for you, so you can read it for yourselves. Thank you. Wow, he's actually, like, being nice for once. This is strange. The capital offenders file has been entered into the court record. These documents include the details that were in the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shamspear's room. I'll rearrange everything in the court record so we don't have duplicate information. Oh, thanks. Why are you giving us a copy of this important file, though? Well, you're the ones who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? I'm just making sure things get handled in the proper fashion. Oh, Scotland Yard's workings are so wonderful. Indeed, my dear fellows, and the inspector here is shining diamond. There! And the inspector here is a shining diamond in its crown. A shining diamond in the rough, maybe. Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all. That's all. Old. It's old. Oh, it's gone. Counsel for the defense and the defendant! The court proceedings are about to resume. Make your way into the courtroom at once. Why are we playing the serious music? Well, I shall leave you then. I'll be listening with interest from the public gallery. Not nodding off at all, certainly not. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes, for that very convincing little anecdote there. I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Mustache in floods of tears, personally. So, the best of luck to you. Locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire! Yes, Mr. Natsume? I like that he's just getting numb to the screaming. It's time, isn't it? Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shamspear. This is going to be the final oh, this is the end of the okay. I'll try to get through this. I'm gonna try to get through this. I won't really have saved Soseki-san until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. But it's all coming to a head now. You can do it, Ryunosuke. You have to. Here we go! I'm probably gonna try to finish the trial today. Hopefully, because this seems like it's like the last push, you know? 23rd of February, 12:30 p.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again now. Before the recess, we heard a most startling accusation from the defense. Namely, that the victim of this case, we heard here only a few days ago, is the true Fuck! I was spacing that sentence out so weirdly and I just tried to go along with it. Ah! Is the true perpetrator of this incident. A reckless, rash,
Prejudiced.
Prejudiced? God damn it, I didn't know how to fucking say the word. A reckless, a reckless, rash, and prejudiced charge of wrongdoing, in my opinion, my lord. However, the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer from dubious eastern shores. Thank you for that backhanded consideration, you jackass. A rather cold assessment from the honorable British prosecutor, I must say. So, Lord Van Sykes, is the new witness present and ready to take the stand? Ready and waiting in the witnesses' antechamber, my lord. Very well. Bailiff, bring the witness in. Or the witnesses. Did it say witness or witnesses? Is plural, and she's painting. Witnesses, state your name and occupation for the court, please. William Shamspear, my liege. For mine occupation, I can say only that I be a tragic victim, to be pitied. Currently unemployed, in other words. Damn, he just like me for real, for real. I'm Olive Green. I'm a fledgling artist. Well, no. Not a fledgling, really. A hopeless failure who's too weak-spirited to admit she has no talent, I suppose. Also, currently unemployed, in other words. What a coterie.
Mr. Shamspear.
My lord, I am thy humble servant.
I'm afraid that you are no longer merely the victim in this affair. The possibility has been raised that you are in fact the assailant, intent on taking the life of your fellow lodger. The part you have played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you.
I would for naught else, my lord.
And Miss Green,
Yes?
you're aware of the reason you have been summoned to this courtroom today, I presume?
Yes, the officer did explain.
What?
He said I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon. And? Do you accept the charge, Miss Green? I don't know anything about any poison. Bold-faced lie, throwing it out there. A lie that is bold in the face. And I don't know anything about this man. That part I believe. Come, lady, die to live. Verily, I know not thy prickly, pea-pigmented personage. Fucking God, I hate this man with a passion.
Very well, let us proceed with the matter at hand. That being to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in this affair.
It's all very strange indeed. Why would you suspect me? I barely ever go to the East End anyway. It so happens that I passed by the neighborhood 6 days ago, that's all. And on that night this man was poisoned, I was still in hospital, fighting for my life. Yes, having been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside the Garadeb household. Literally the day before. Or like 2 days, but whatever. An incident that rendered you unconscious for some 3 days. I was struck in the middle of my back. I was struck in the middle of my back by a knife. Though no fault of my own, and now I'm under suspicion? Or through no fault, fuck you. What other irrelevant things might I be suspected of? It's all very disturbing.
Your energies may be better spent worrying about random knife attacks, I feel, Miss Green.
At this point in time, all that appears to connect with you and all that appears to connect you with Mr. Shamspear's lodgings is the Briar Road incident of 6 days ago. That's why we would like you to testify formally now about exactly what happened. Oh no! The incident 6 days ago? You mean you want me to relive that awful accident? Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we will be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shamspear. Eh? But what happened 6 days ago has nothing to do with me being poisoned. Damn, he dropped the formalities of his fucking Shakespeare bullshit. That's how you know he's worried.
Let us proceed then. The witness will present their formal testimony to the court. Witnesses, fuck me. On the subject of the incident that took place on Briar Road the evening of the 17th of February.
Bong bong! Witness testimony. The evening of 17th February. It was 6 days ago, about 5 p.m. I was walking along in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings. I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakest, for I had bespoke my supper. It was the first time I had been in the area. I had a little matter to attend to, that's all. Anyways, I was admitted straight to the hospital, so I knew nothing about all this business. Wasn't there a thing? I guess not. There was a thing, though, in her house. Or, not in her house, but in her, like, room. There's nothing to really inspect. Oh, the bottom. Hold on. So this is the poison we've been hearing so much about, strychnine. There are a few remnants on the bottom of the bottle here. Look. You mustn't be tempted to try it. Of course not. As long as we don't lose this trial. Oh. Oh. No, even if we lose the trial. No, we mustn't lose the trial in the first place, Mr. Naruhodo. Make your mind up, Susato-san. Okay, so nothing, basically. Doperino. Then I want to look at this. I never actually looked at this. Investigative findings related to Selden. 18 courts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder, died of natural causes whilst in prison, his final moments witnessed only by his cellmate. The estimated 1,000 pounds worth of loot he stole remains uncovered. Condemned criminal dies of natural causes in prison. Manchester's Strangeways prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes in the early hours this morning. He had been suffering with fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. Interesting. Alright. Anyway, I was admitted straight to the hospital, so I knew nothing about all of this business. I entirely believe her, and I don't really get how she's related to this case. But, you know, I guess Ace Attorney's gonna Ace Attorney, right?
Yes, a second incident inside a week at what I believe to be aptly described as the haunted lodgings. One can only presume this is a most unfortunate coincidence.
Meanwhile, you say you were not in your room, Mr. Shamspeare? 'Twas the following morn when I did awaken, that I learned of the dire events. Mary, what a commotion did the officers of the law make on the floor above mine? When Soseki-san was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. As suspected, there is nothing connecting these two witnesses but happenstance. I need to answer a phone call real quick. Give me 1 second, I won't be long. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Something came up. I had to answer the call. Okay. Where were we? We were gaming. Okay. As suspected, there is nothing connecting these two witnesses but happenstance. It's true, it does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance. But I'm not so sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here. I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it.
Counsel, you may now cross-examine these two witnesses if you wish.
Yes, my lord! To plug in my phone. Cross-examination. I have like one idea, but I don't know what I would present, so I'll just press. It was 6 days ago, about 5 p.m. I was walking along. Here, let me actually look at this shit real quick. Just real quick. Yep, we don't need that anymore. Nearby street map of the neighborhood where Mr. Netson has his lodgings. Yep. Pair of teacups. Bar soap. Torn off end of envelope, which we have not been able to actually do anything with. Crime scene photograph, which I feel is going to be useless now. Victim's medical report, which I don't think is useful at all anymore. Gas meter, which I think is irrelevant. Handprints on the wall, which we've already discussed. This photo, I don't know if it has anything to do with anything, but we'll find out, I guess. Bottle of poison and that. Okay, I just want to look at those just to see. I guess I'll just press. I don't know. Hold it, what do you mean? I'm well acquainted with the case. I'm sorry you had to go through that. It was awful. I still can't believe I was unconscious for so long. I woke up to find that the case had been solved and the culprit arrested. Yes, the incident has been resolved already. Perhaps it would help you to consider it a bad dream that ended with your waking, and should now be forgotten. Yes, I suppose so. Thank you. But before you put it completely behind you, Miss Green, I need you to remember the details one last time. You must tell the court exactly what happened that day for us to arrive at the truth about this new case. The trouble is, there's nothing to tell, really. I was just walking along the pavement. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house in the something. What were you doing there that day, though? What do you mean? The art school you attend. What's it called? Yes. It's the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. According to Mr. Sholmes, that's just in the vicinity of Brixton Road, which is some 10 stops away from the scene of the Underground. Is that what... Did I read that right at all? I did. Huh. I believe you mentioned before that you also live on Brixton Road. Isn't that right? So why then would you have been walking around Briar Road in the middle of the East End? Well, because, oh yes, of course. I thought it might make a nice picture. The witness is a student of art. City-dwelling artists can't all paint grand urban vistas. That's right! I happen to like the crumbling look of that part of town. Perhaps quaint would have been a less grating term? The point is, she's definitely hiding something. Yes, it seems she's not going to be forthcoming with the truth. She's trying to hide why she was there that evening. It must mean there's a reason for her not wanting us to know. That's the key to this. And you, Mr. Shamspear? On the evening of the incident 6 days ago, would you tell the court what exactly you were doing? 'Twould be my pleasure, sire. I hate him. I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakst, for I had bespoke my supper.
Hold it!
A tavern, you say? Which one? 'Twas the Slug and Salad where I did tarry. 'Tis a jewel in the East End. And a little unexpected, I feel. What do you mean, Lord Van Zykes? What do you mean? The Slug and Salad offers unusually fine dining. For the locality, at least. Not an establishment you'd expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room. It's true, the menu lists premium crusts of bread and glasses of water in different levels of cloudiness. I would have expected Grubb's Grubbery in the local vicinity to be more appropriate for your means. watery soup and mushy peas. Or rather, soupy water and pea-like mush. All equally appetizing. I just wanted to try some water in a different pub for once. What's wrong with that? How different can water really be? Or perhaps there's a more plausible explanation? A specific reason why he had to go to that particular establishment. There was a meetup or something, right? Agreed. The fact that on that day of all days, he dined at a place he wouldn't normally, it does stand out. So Mr. Shamspeare's own actions on the day of the incident 6 days ago were slightly suspicious. I wonder if we have some evidence that can explain those actions. Oh, yeah, we do. Present evidence, bitch. Mr. Shamspeare. Yes, sire? On the day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize, for a very particular reason? I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if thou hast some purpose, speakst. Very well. I'll present the court with evidence. You goddamn fuck. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day. Namely, take that! The envelope. Or I could be wrong. Oh, good Horatio. There are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Horatio? I believe it's a line from Shakespeare's play Hamlet, Mr. Naruhodo. Be it a line from the great Shakespeare. Be it a line from the great Shakespeare or from this Mr. Shamspeare, the message is the same. My learned Nepenthes friend is wide off the mark. Hardly surprising, given the witness's obtuse literary quotes. I do wonder if there isn't perhaps some evidence that would explain why it was the Slug and Salad he visited. What the fuck? I give up. I give up with that. Do wonder if there isn't some evidence that would explain why it was the Slug and Salad he visited.
I think we have discussed this issue enough. Let us return to the witness's testimony, please.
Gladly, I would thy bidding do, Horatio. It's the first time I'd been in the area. I had a little... Okay, so here's the thing. I'm just gonna press everything, and if nothing else really shows up, I'll just go back to this and try to find evidence that makes sense. So... Hold it! Hold it! What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate. It was nothing really. It's not worth mentioning. If you remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital. Ah. It was related to the card you were holding? Oh. Miss Green! Oh yeah, she was gonna, offer. What was that? She clearly just hid something behind her back. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. What does that matter? This has nothing to do with Duncan. Oh. Excuse me. Excuse me! Mr. Shamspeare, do you have something to share with the court? To be or not to be? That is the question. Ah, pray forgive me. The great bard's words springeth from within me, with ne'er a thought. Don't tell me it's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps? Well, nay, sire. 'Twas nothing at all. Presumably you know the name, though. Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodgers in the same house. I would it were so, but sadly nay. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me. So you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours.
Miss Green.
Me, my lord? Have I done something wrong?
The card that was mentioned before, containing the note. Do you have it upon your person?
I do, yes, but I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should throw it away, really.
Before you dispose of it, the court will take it as evidence, please.
Miss Green's card has been entered. Okay. Of course. That's what links Mr. Shamspear and Miss Green. It's Duncan Ross.
Now, continue with the testimony, please, Miss Green.
Okay. Hold on. I am going to save real quick, because I have an idea, but it might fuck me over, so... If it does fuck me over, we're just gonna pretend it didn't happen. Just gonna skip all this, skip all this, skip all this. Yes, and it's unexpected because, what do you mean? Well, it's because it's so fucking expensive. I wouldn't think he'd be able to go there. It is the, oh fuck, I've been exposed. And it's, yeah, this is me pulling out my book of knowledge. And I think, you know, the other place would be better. It's actually got shit food. That's shit food. Oh my god, but I wanted different H2O. How different can H2O be? Or perhaps maybe he's bullshitting? Maybe there's another reason why he went there. I agree. The fact that blah blah blah, he did the thing, it's weird. Blah blah booba doo. I wonder if we have some evidence. We have evidence now. Hey, bitch. Yes, bitch. I have evidence, bitch. That you can... Yeah, you went there. Well, what's your evidence, bitch? Here's my evidence, bitch. This.
Take that!
I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay, wait, actually, I'll just do it regardless. I'll just do it regardless because either way, it's not of value to me to just do that again. Okay, hold on. We're gonna try this again and get the, like, grab the other part. I'm not doing my whole improv bit again of, like, fucking whittling down to the core of what they're saying and blah 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 blah. Skippy 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 skip skip skippity skip 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 skippy skippity skippity skip skippity skip skip skippity 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 skip skip skippity 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 skip skip skippity 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 skip. Present evidence. Skippity skippity skip skip skippity skip skip skippy skip 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 skip. Bam, bam. Bum, bum, bum. We'll try the other piece of the envelope, and then if it doesn't work, I give up.
Take that!
Alright, fuck you, I guess! Why would it not be either of those? Why would it not be either of those? Because this was in Shamspear's room. And this was in possession of Green. Do I have to fucking expect it first? Envelope has been ripped open rather carelessly, hasn't it? Miss Green strikes me as the type to open correspondence more neatly than that. Ah, what is it? The way the envelope is torn, I'm almost sure I've seen that exact same shape somewhere else. Oh, you don't mean... Were you thinking of this piece of evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Exactly. That's it. Try to match them. Oh, okay. I had to do this first, so I was on the right track. They go together perfectly. This torn off end of the envelope clearly belongs to this card. Okay, now we pick one of them. It doesn't matter which one now, I assume. But we got it. Okay, we got it. Okay, if it doesn't work now, I'm gonna lose my fucking marbles.
Hold it!
Sir, why are you just rambling or skipping the middle of the discussion? Because I'm trying to get through it! Because I don't want to be here! Because it's irrelevant! Dun, 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 na, 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 Fuck you. There we go. I believe this torn off piece of envelope reveals the answer, because it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the card that was submitted into evidence earlier.
Good lord, Miss Green's card, you mean?
That's right, my lord. It reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It's a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shamspeare, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note. Personally, I find it hard to believe that that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamspeare? Well. Excuse me, can I say something? No, shut up. Yes, Miss Green? That card was delivered to me. Blip, blip, blip. It doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it? Well, you'd think so, yes, but it's hardly to believe. My lord, may I?
May you what, Miss Green?
I'd like to make something very clear about that card.
Very well then, you may amend your testimony to include details about the particular note.
Oh. Okay, this note was delivered to me at my address. It's nothing to do with this odd man next to me here. But the letter wasn't supposed to be read. You sick. Okay, well, in my defense, this is a court of law and secrets are a no-no. So, sorry. A note was delivered to me at my address. It's nothing.
Hold it!
I guess we'll press, just like... I think you said that you received it the day before the incident, didn't you? Yes, that's right. There appears to be no indication of the sender's name or address on the envelope. It was in my letterbox, that's all I know, I'm afraid. I have no idea who sent it.
I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Who is this Duncan Ross, please? Secrets are a no-no, then why do killers try to...
Because they're no-no people. And we're the I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. A friend of mine. He attended the same art school as I do. He passed away in a tragic accident a few months ago now, though. I wasn't sure what to make of that note, to be honest, but in the end I decided to go. So you found out what the information was? Of course I didn't. You're not thinking straight. Excuse the fuck. Whilst on her way there, she was stabbed in the back. Oh, as my learned friend hopefully remembers. Ah, yes, of course. She never made it to the meeting. Okay, well, what's interesting to me is that Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, you pursued Mr. Shamspeare wonderfully there. It's worked out well, hasn't it? We have a new clue at last. All right, now I need to pull off a really insightful objection somewhere. Well, as you've managed to expose this promising new angle, I wonder if you should perhaps try to develop that. Ah, yeah, of course. That's not at all what I was already gonna do. Yelling out objections isn't necessarily the best way to do that, I suppose. Yes, it is! So I happen to be just out lodging. Blip, blap, blap. I'm gonna try presenting the piece. I'm gonna be, yes, I'm gonna try presenting this piece. I'm gonna try it because this was in his office, or his apartment, so.
Objection!
Yeah, objection. The fuck? The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. And upon carrying out instructions in the note, you found yourself in hospital. Yes, I did. It's terrible, everything that's happened to me. Yes, it is terrible. If it's all true, that is. What do you mean? Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope. Oh, is it? Acting like she's never seen an envelope before? Okay. And it so happens that it fits together perfectly with the envelope on the note you received. Well, where did you find that? I'm so glad you asked. In Mr. Shamspear's room. Eh? In my room? Fucker. Mr. Shamspear. Do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere? Anywhere? Perhaps? Maybe? Well... Your actions that afternoon follow the instruction in the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. And so that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspear. You already knew about this note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green? What did I do? As this torn off end of the envelope proves, the note was originally in Mr. Shamspear's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession? I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist after all. There is only one explanation! You broke into Mr. Shamspear's room and stole it! What? You did what? Sorry, thou hast what? Thou were in my room? What on earth do you want with me?
It would seem that both witnesses need to testify again.
Miss Green? Yes? Whilst you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure, for the suffering you have endured in recent events, anyone found to be giving false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind. Oh. Yes, I know.
Very well then, witnesses. You will give formal testimony again now. On the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received.
Alright, here we fucking go. Witness testimony, the anomaly of the note. I do remember now, 'twas a week ago, pre-adventure, that note was delivered unto me. On the day writ therein, I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening, I shared the company of the Japanese fellow. I did see the note had vanished. I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I can point out the villain here, and as for that torn off piece of the envelope, I don't know anything about it. My only guess is that... Oh wait, no, they already said he died a floor above him, Shamspear. I was gonna say Shamspear lives in his room now, but that's wild. Anyways.
You now claim to have received this letter, do you, Mr. Shamspear?
Faith, 'tis so, my lord. And I would swear to have set it upon the table in my humble lodgings. Yet, 'tis clear to me now that since I returned from the tavern that night, have not laid eyes upon it.
Well, that being the case, young lady, it would appear that your testimony was...
A lie? Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think I'm the one lying.
I beg your pardon?
I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said. And fledgling artists don't lie. That note was delivered to me at my address. Besides, we all know who the liar around here is. If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? This part of the envelope was, without question, found in Mr. Shakespeare's room. I don't see why I should explain. Sorry? I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is to just say what happened. That's all. It's your job to give the explanations and the proofs. You, the fledgling lawyer.
The fledgling will do his best.
Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth.
Well, counsel...
I'm ready, my lord. I'm not ready. At all.
Very well then, the defense will now proceed with the cross-examination of the witness.
Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shakespeare's room. There can be no question of that. And that's how she acquired the note.
Yes, two facts that are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all this. I'm lost, and it's not a pretty one. I have no fucking idea what fucking explanation they're saying this leads to. I got no fucking idea. Do you remember now? It was a week ago. Pre-adventure. It was delivered onto me. Okay. Whatever. Let's just press it, I guess.
Hold it! And can you shed any light on the contents of the note at all? Nay, sire, 'tis as strange to me as a foreign tongue. Even with a knowledge of literature as great as mine own, verily, it's impenetrable. But Mr. Duncan Ross had lodgings in the same household as you. In effect, he was your neighbor, so surely you knew him, didn't you? Alack, if the choices be twixt I knew him, and I knew him not, then 'tis with foreboding that I be forced to declare we were by some small measure acquainted. Despite your claims, though, you followed the note's instructions and went to the slug and salad. Presumably, that was nothing to do with your knowledge of literature? Marry, naught will have the better of me, sire, save for the lure of curiosity. So, 'tis true, I was compelled by mine own eager heart to betake myself to the tavern. Yet, in the end, my curiosity was not satiated. I don't think I read that word correctly at fucking all. Oh, no, I did. Yippee! A day writ therein. Nope. Not what I meant to press. Did tarry longer, slung aside, yet nobody came. Okay. So, even after waiting for an hour, nobody appeared. Well, yes, sire. 'Tis as thou say'st. Really? You paused for a moment before you answered. In truth, when thou asked whether nobody appeared, I did suddenly recall.
Really? Do you mean to tell the court that somebody did appear after all?
I was not alone that night at the slug and salad, my lord. No, 'tis returning to me now. I did treat my lips to almost clear water, and mine innards to a premium crust of bread. And all around me danced a great many companions.
What do you mean? Is he just talking about, like, the random people who went there?
Flies, sire, flies.
Good lord!
Name of Beelzebub, what were they? Fairies, perchance, from a midsummer night's dream, come to taunt me?
I think they were just flies.
I can't help thinking that the flies ought to choose something more wholesome to buzz around. Is that wrong of me?
A little bit.
Thereafter, on the evening I shared company, the Japanese fellow did see the note had vanished.
Hold it!
When exactly did you notice it had gone missing? I didn't mean to press that. Such idle thoughts ne'er occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas. In other words, you didn't notice. Several days between your outing to the tavern and Mr. Natsume's visit to your room.
Yes, it would appear that the note disappeared sometime in that interval.
Such idle thoughts ne'er occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas.
And yet, during that time, Miss Green was comatose in hospital, was she not? Clearly, then, she could not have been stealing things from Mr. Shamspeare's room.
Yes, of course.
Oh, she took that.
It's all some sort of misunderstanding. Isn't it, Mr. Prosecutor, sir? Come on, Sykes, you know this is... You have so far failed to give a satisfactory explanation as to how you came by the note. I am not here to advocate for your defense, madam. I won't tolerate inconsistencies in your story. You would do well to remember that. Oh, dearie me. What's Lord Van Sykes getting at? I don't know. Don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? For the envelope.
Hold it!
It seems that this note was actually delivered to Mr. Shamspeare about 1 week ago. Oh, does it? But for some reason, it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any way that could have happened except for you breaking into Mr. Shamspeare's lodgings. Objection! But for what reason would the witness have done that? And will deny that Miss Green's possession of that note would appear to defy logic. However, until and unless her involvement in this case can be proven in some other way, any further pursuit of this note is meaningless. Miss Green could only have come to be in possession of that note by stealing it from Mr. Shamspeare's room. And yet there's no obvious reason why she would have done such a thing. What if there was some other reason she broke into his lodgings, though? Yes, we should pursue that idea, Mr. Naruhodo. We're close now. I can feel it. We're so close to a breakthrough. So... Wait. Right now, we're trying to see if there is another reason. Gas? Could she have something to do with the gas, man? I don't fucking know, man. I didn't mean to do that! God damn it! Alright, back up. Alright. Let's just press, I guess. I don't know. Hold it! So you don't want to tell the court the truth about the letter, is that it? I'm a fledgling artist, remember? Artists are nearly always introverted characters. Introverted? Faye, this fledgling doth readily cast aspirations about my nature. Yet I am an angel, a seraph. Birds do harmonize with my song, the wind doth frolic on my wing. Oh pity, wherefore dost thou accuse on one so pure of heart, ample woman? Pure of heart? I don't think so. Even a fledgling like me can see you're just a failure. Tragedy! Thou shalt not know the true heart of an artist until thine instruction hereafter by death. Oh, the days, oh, the years! Alas, to enlighten thee, thou must wait so long and in vain. Mr. Naruhodo, interject with some clever remark. This is your chance to shine. I'm no Shakespearean actor, Mrs. Otto. No, as far as I can tell, the only thing that's going to resolve this argument is evidence. Yes! What the fuck evidence? It's clear that Miss Green... Oh, it's clear that Miss Green did, in fact, break into Mr. Shamspeare's room, isn't it? And that's where she found this letter. Yes, two more or less foregone conclusions that lead me to one terrifying conclusion. Terrifying? Yes, I'm afraid to say the outcome of this cross-examination may well change how we look at this case completely. What do you mean? What do you mean? What the fuck are you on about? Oh. The day read to their inn, I did tarry along the slog, yet nobody came. After evening, and blah blah blah. Okay. Fuck, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna fucking Nah! I clicked the wrong fucking bumper. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's hunky-dory. We're going to present the strychnine. Boom. Nope.
Objection.
There we go. Yesterday at the hospital, we saw you with this bottle. And though the contents spilt during the course of our meeting, a small quantity remained. According to the defense's independent analysis, Mr. Shom's chemistry set, the liquid that was still in the bottle was identified as strychnine. What? Strychnine? The very same poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspeare! Miss Green, you broke into this man's lodgings for one reason and one reason alone. To cover the end of the pipe that feeds the gas lamp in Mr. Shamspeare's room with poison.
Can this be?
You broke into my room to... It may seem incredible to the court, but from the remaining clues, there is only one logical conclusion that we can reach. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shamspeare's life with poison was you, Miss Olive Green! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dearie. Oh, damn, ow. Damn.
Order! Order! Counsel, are you seriously suggesting this woman put poison on the end of the gas pipe with intent to kill?
Yes, my lord. There's no other way to explain the facts.
But if Miss Green did indeed set this odious trap 6 days ago, and the victim had put his mouth to that pipe that very evening as expected, the attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago, surely!
Well, that's a very good point. Perhaps not, my lord.
I beg your pardon?
He's gonna save my ass? There was a significant police presence in the area that evening on account of the incident on Briar Road. Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of the ongoing inquiry. A circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at that time. Lord Van Zykes? And of course, the following morning, there was more activity at Mr. Shamspeare's address. More activity? Ah, yeah! You mean his fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder? That's right. And the defense has already proposed Mr. Shamspeare was meddling with the gas in the pipe for a very sinister reason himself. to cause the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant. But once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant surveillance by the police. Oh. In the circumstances, Mr. Shamspear had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe. His intended victim being in a prison cell. With the need to tamper with the gas removed, the poison on the pipe lay dormant. And then, 3 days ago now, the situation changed again. Right! Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here at the Old Bailey, came to an end.
The trial in which the man stood accused of stabbing Miss Green in the back, but was duly acquitted. The result in Mr. Natsume's returning to his lodging. That resulted in Mr. Natsume returning to his lodgings for the first time in 2 days. And that very night, his gas stove mysteriously went out, and Mr. Shamspear was mysteriously poisoned. In conclusion, the poison that was present on the mouth of the gas pipe had been put there in the victim's room some 4 days earlier. Mary! God damn! See, this is why I like Ace Attorney. With that new understanding, it has become clear that this letter was all part of the plan. What plan?
The court will recall that the note gave instructions to visit the slug and salad at 5 o'clock, and that the recipient should tell nobody else. The reason for those instructions are now clear. To ensure that the lodger would not be at home at the stated time. To make sure I wasn't home? Exactly. While you were out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed. You mean to say, that letter was written by Miss Green, yes. In order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. Just after she smeared poison over the mouth of the gas pipe in your room. Holy shit.
Order! Order! What do you have to say for yourself, witness?
Oh? Hello? Just who are you? Why did you try to kill me? Miss Green's motive should be obvious. It's all tied up with someone whose name we've heard several times already during the course of this trial. So, that's what's behind all this. Getting revenge for her lover, are we?
You will share your apparent understanding with the court, please, counsel. Which person is behind this woman's motive for it? Blah, blah, blah. It's this guy.
Take that!
It's Duncan Ross.
Duncan Ross?
That's right. Before the defendant, Mr. Natsume, took up residence in the lodgings at Mr. Garadeb's, somebody else was renting the room. Mr. Duncan Ross. I knew I'd heard the name somewhere else. It was all over the papers a month ago when the man died in strange circumstances at the haunted lodgings.
That does ring a vague... Ah! Of course, yes, I remember now. The young man they claimed was strangled by the convict's curse or some such.
Sadly, my lord, it wasn't a curse of any kind, nor was it an accident. The man died as a result of Mr. Shamspear blowing into the gas pipe and causing gas to leak into the room. It was murder, plain and simple! Well, what do you know? The world is so unfair. Curses, curious deaths, that's all people care about. If it's an interesting story, they want to know. It doesn't cross their minds that real people are involved. And once they're bored, just 1 month later, once the story's lost its appeal, everyone's forgotten him. You mean Duncan was... Mr. Ross was Miss Green's fiancé. Fiancé? You may not have known until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shamspear. But she's known exactly who you are all along.
Because you're her sworn enemy. The murderer who took the life of the man she was to marry.
Marry? Oh, that wasn't a question.
Miss Green, is it not the case that in order to exact revenge on Mr. Shamspear, you smeared poison over the end of the gas pipe?
She's silent.
This is all quite extraordinary. Am I correct in my understanding that you now accuse both parties, counsel? Each on different counts of murder. Yes, my lord. That's correct.
Objection! All right.
Inhaling so deeply, it appears that my fledgling learned friend has taken in a lungful of dubious gas that's causing his judgment to be clouded. What? Seriously, man? You were just on my fucking side. Why would Mr. Shamspear have wanted to kill these lodgers, as you say? You've completely failed to provide a motive to substantiate your accusation against the man.
Yes, that's right, Mr. Reaper, my liege. I've been slighted. 'Tis lies, all lies. I deny every utterance. And you'll have to forgive me, Mr. Naruhodo, sir. But I don't intend to admit to anything either.
Miss Green.
I'm sure you'll think I'm being very rude, but I'm not going to be sent to the gallows for the likes of this scoundrel. Objection, ma'am. But you broke into the man's room. If you didn't do it to smear poison on the pipe, what was your reason? I thought I'd have a look around, that's all.
Sorry. I'll look around. Get the fuck out of here.
You're right, I suspected him. So I thought perhaps I might find some evidence or something in his room. Evidence that it was him who took Duncan's life. Oh, villainous! Oh, villainy! Oh, tyranny! Oh, rotundity of what? Fuck! Whatever. But in any case, wherene'er I leave my room, I do turn the key in the lock. That whole place is falling apart. The locks on the doors are no different. Duncan showed me once how to unlock the door with some trumps and a piece of wire. Oh, awfulness! Oh, artfulness! Oh, tyranny! Oh, profanity of woman!
We will consider your trespassing on some future occasion. But for now, tell the court what you found, what evidence your search revealed.
Well, I spotted the note that I'd sent him lying on the floor. When I went to pick it up, I noticed something. One of the floorboards was loose, and underneath it I discovered a secret hiding place. Eh?
Yes, we also discovered that hiding place.
Inside we found a newspaper cutting, a photograph, and an empty tin box. Yes, well, the thing is, when I found it, the box wasn't empty.
What? There was something in it?
Yes.
What was in it? Oh. That key?
This rather nice key. What are you doing with that?
What the?
Every ounce of color is drained from his face. Give it here! Give it to me now! It's mine! I inherited it!
What was that, witness? What did you say? You inherited it.
No,
What's all this about? He inherited that key?
It was obviously important to you, since you'd gone to such lengths to hide it, so I took it. I don't know what it is for, but you took something precious from me, so I took something precious from you. So what if it means you can't open something now? I don't care. Give it back this minute! Give it to me!
Calm yourself, witness! So Mr. Shamspear has tried, and in one case succeeded, to take the life of 2 lodgers now. Yes, his motive for doing so is the key to everything that's happened.
It's true that there appears to be no motive to support the accusation against Mr. Shamspear at first, but considering everything we now know, I think there is actually something that could explain it. What? I need to recall every piece of evidence at our disposal, everything we've seen and heard, because I'm sure that I just caught a glimpse of the link that runs through all of these events.
In that case, counsel, I must demand that you present evidence to the court in support of your claim. What is it that you say can explain the motivation for Mr. Shamspear's alleged crimes?
The only thing I can think of is something to do with this guy.
Oh!
Take that!
Oh, shit! Oh! Because oh my god, because dude's loot is gone. Wait. No, because the estimated 1,000 pounds worth of loot he stole remains unrecovered. The key is, oh my god.
That's an official police report, is it not?
The Selden file. How did you get a hold of that? Selden? The now sadly deceased Mr. Ross and the defendant Mr. Natsume have only one thing linking them. The fact that they had lodgings in the same room.
Well, yes, we note this certainly.
A room that was formerly occupied by Selden. Until... excuse me, I had a burp. Until, that is, he was arrested by Scotland Yard for his involvement in multiple burglaries.
I see.
And it so happens that the convict Selden left behind one very substantial mystery when he died. The sum 1,000 pounds worth of loot that he stole, which as yet remains to be found.
Ah, yes, of course. It's coming back to me now. It's written in here in this file.
1,000 pounds lost en route to hell. That was how the paper summed it up. And it seems that one particular fellow inmate was with the convict in his final moments. It's not hard to imagine Selden entrusting that inmate with his most closely guarded secret, the location of the stolen loot, and perhaps a key to unlock whatever container the valuables were in. You mean this key is... Mr. Shamspear, it was you, wasn't it? You were at the capital offender's side when he died, were you not? What are you talking about? 'Tis a false charge, I tell you! A false charge! The name of the inmate who was with Selden at his death isn't noted in this file, but a simple telegram of the prison where he died would quickly tell us how false the charge really is.
But even if it's true, why would the man be so intent on killing every subsequent occupant of the convict's lodgings?
There's only one explanation for that, my lord. It was in that very room that Selden hid his loot! Yeah, obvious. Oh, come on. So, it all comes out. Yes, and having established that, all of Mr. Shamspear's subsequent actions start to make perfect sense. When he was let out of prison following Selden's death, he made immediately for Mr. Garrideb's lodgings in the hope of renting Selden's old room. However, the retired army man was unable to offer him the accommodation of his choice, because Selden's old room had already been let to someone else, Mr. Duncan Ross. Which is why Mr. Shamspear subsequently devised his gas-based plot to kill the occupant of the room. And when he was successful, he presumably intended to inquire about switching into the newly vacant room. However, A certain jittery someone had beaten him to it.
Mr. Soseki Natsume? The defendant of this case, no less!
So, you decided to use the ploy with the gas again, didn't you, Mr. Shamspear? This time, to oust Mr. Natsume. All for one simple and avaricious reason. To get your hands on the 1,000 pounds of loot left behind by the dead convict! Oh. Breakdown time? Breakdown? Looks like I'm gonna snuff it before they get to stretch me neck. Oh, no, that's the guy. Listen, I want you to have me loot. Anything to stop the coppers getting their mitts on it. It's hidden in the room where I was lodging when they got me. Here, this is the key to it. Take it. Always stay one step ahead, mate. See you in hell, I guess. Shamspear. Oh. Ooh. It's mine. Huh? What did he just say? It's mine. That loot is mine. Oh? What the fuck? Oh, he's deranged. Oh, God, get everyone out. He's gonna fucking kill us. Oh, God. It's gonna be a fucking genocide in the Old Bailey. Oh, shit. Mr. Shamspear? It's all lies. I don't accept any of it. Why should I? After all, you don't have a shred of evidence. You can't prove I killed that fellow. Forsooth, I'm the victim here, remember? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, they've all noticed. If I don't admit to it, there's nothing you can do. You can't arrest me. For the time being, anyway. Verily, you can't arrest the victim, can you? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, I'm so close. I just need a few more hours. I swore to myself that I'd get my hands on it, and I can almost taste it now. Do you really think I'd just give up? There's no question in my mind now. This man is guilty through and through. I get to voice a crazy person. Yay! I love to voice crazy people. They're my favorite. I like being mentally unhinged. It's fun. But he seems so utterly intoxicated by the idea of the loot. I'm afraid that however hard you press him, he'll never admit to what he's done, Mr. Naruto. There is a way. Pardon? There's one way I can finish him. No! He's already committed the most heinous crimes to get his hands on that loot. Which means all we need to do is find it first. A fine plan. Were it not for the fact that the police thoroughly searched the room following the death of Mr. Ross. If it's there at all, it must be very well hidden indeed.
Without conclusive evidence, I certainly cannot rule.
What do you mean conclusive fucking evidence? His reaction? Everything we fucking said? The fuck? If only there was some way we could find the convict's loot quickly. This is the final piece in this complex puzzle. But I think we might have it in our possession already. Or rather, I think we may well have something that can help us find where that loot is hidden. Oh. My lord!
Yes, counsel?
If the defense would like to make a proposal about how to find the late convict's hidden loot, I believe we're already in possession of something that could give us a clue as to its whereabouts. Okay, well, he's just lost it. It's our last chance, so it has to be worth a gamble. Besides, we've used the same technique once already, and it definitely paid off then.
Oh. Very well then, counsel. Let me hear your idea. What do you propose we can use in order to locate the hiding place of the deceit? The image, right?
Take that!
If I'm not mistaken, Those are Mr. Shamspeare's handprints on the wall of his lodgings.
That's right, my lord. Exposed as a result of the defense's independent investigation of the scene. Based on a wonderful new discovery in the field of forensic science by the great detective Mr. Sholmes. A great detective? Is that some kind of joke? Do you really think I'm going to be daunted by a man with such a ridiculous title? I should think the great bard ought to recognize such a title when he hears one, Mr. Shamspeare. Ha ha! I'd hear all along! Fuck you! I knew it was him from the get-go! Fuck you! Perhaps we should compete for the honor of the most ridiculous title. Ah! 'Tis Herlock Sholmes himself! What are you doing here, great detective? Your usual haunts are the filthy back streets of the capital, are they not? Mr. Reaper, it's been too long. And I see your complexion has worsened since last we met. Mr. Sholmes? He does know Lord Van Sykes, then. Well enough to say something like that in any case.
Mr. Sholmes, though you may be heralded as a great detective by the population at large, that does not give you the right to come and go in my courtroom as you see fit.
If I may, my lord. Mr. Sholmes' newly developed scientific method has helped us to uncover vital clues in this case already. I'm getting tired of my fucking fuck-ups.
Clues, you say?
I call them skin prints, my lord. My method identifies every location touched by an individual under scrutiny. It's the method by which we were able to ascertain this gentleman's gas pipe activities. You need only a small sample of something the individual has previously touched to make an indicator solution. In your case, sir, I used the teacup that you had been holding, elementary. So now, Mr. Naruhodo, yes? What am I to use as a sample to make the indicator solution this time? Thank you for offering to help, Mr. Sholmes. When the convict was arrested, he was living in what is now Sasaki-san's room. We need a sample to help locate Sullivan. Present a person, the fuck? It's the fucking key. We need something of Selden's in order to create the indicator solution to find his loot. And something the convict owned happens to be in the possession of somebody listed in the court record. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, your powers of reasoning appear to be on the up. So, which particular person do you have in mind? From whom can we obtain a possession of the late convict Selden to create the indicator solution? Olive Green, at the age of 20. Miss Green. Me? What do you want with me? The key around your neck, if you please. Sorry? That key belonged to Selden. There will be remnants of secretions from the man's skin on its surface that we can use. Very true! That is the sample we need. Using it, we can create the indicator solution required for Mr. Sholmes' skin print seeker. And find out exactly what Selden touched in the room that he used to rent. Mr. Shamspeare, as one great to another, I assure you. If the late convict's haul is hidden somewhere in his former lodgings, I shall uncover it no more than 30 minutes. So, Mr. Shamspeare, the truth is well within our grasp now, and as such, you will never get your hands on Selden's stolen wealth! In that case, I'll gladly let Mr. Sholmes have the key. No! Give the key to me! The detective shan't have it! It's over, Mr. Shamspeare. No. You're out of options now. There's only one thing left for you to do. Admit your guilt! Whoa. Oh, shit. Oh, shameful spear! Despair! Be thy name! Oh, shit! Oh my god. He died. He is dead. He got shot. That is a dead man. Anyways, we won. We won. Victory is ours. Suck a dick. Oh, his fucking things are gone. Let's go. Fuck you. I don't like you. I never intended to kill the man. I just wanted to drive him out of the room. That's all. So you'd have time to find the convict's haul of stolen goods. Yet another... Yes, after you killed the young man, you still didn't move into the room. I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused. Why? I was 3 months behind with the rent, for one thing. Mr. Gerdup really has had a lot to put up with. And he had the gas repair work done immediately afterwards, putting the room out of action for a while. And then, this Japanese man swooped in at just the right moment to sign the new lease. Poor Mr. Natsume. What unfortunate timing. Then, 5 days ago, after the incident on Briar Road, when the Japanese fellow got himself arrested, I thought I'd finally have my chance. But it wasn't to be. No, the scene was sealed off and guarded by the police night and day. And if I remember rightly, Mr. Shom spent the whole day in there reading books. I couldn't even enter the room, let alone search for the loot. Which is why, on the day Mr. Natsume was acquitted and returned to his room, you once again tried your trick of blowing air into the gas pipe that feeds the stove in his room. Unbeknownst to you, however, that action would lead you into a deadly trap. Don't apologize. Green, you did nothing. You did nothing wrong. Well, you tried to kill a man, but you can argue. William Shakespeare. How does it go? To be or not to be? That is the question. From Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. Well, let me tell you, in your case, it's not to be. That is the answer. You deserve to die for what you've done.
That was a depressing ending. I mean, I still feel good about it. Fuck you, Shakespeare. You can suck my dick. You don't deserve a happy ending. Eat shit, bitch.
At first, I really did think it was just a terrible accident. I'll never forgive our conversation the night before Duncan died. Or I'll never forget. Fuck me. The gas supply at my new lodgings are a complete disaster, you know, Olive. The gas supply? Yes. The stove always seems to go out in the middle of the night for some reason. That's no joke, I assume. They say it's the convict's curse. Oh, Duncan, please, don't stay there. I don't care how cheap it is. All right, then. If it's that important to you, I'll start looking for a new place. There are spare rooms at my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight? No, I'd better not. We said we'd wait until we'd graduated before we told our parents, remember? But that was the last time we ever spoke. That very night, he fell victim to the gas. If only I'd known what was going to happen, I'd have insisted he left that horrible room that instant. But instead, all I've been left with is bitter regret. I stopped going to school, but something kept drawing me back to the house on Briar Road. I saw a stooped, Eastern-looking man with a mustache coming out of the house one day when I was there. He walked up the road to Grub's Grubbery for some food, so I followed him and sat myself down next to him. He had some watery-looking soup and started to pick a quarrel with the publican.
That place is cursed, I tell you, cursed! The ghost of that convict who used to live there, is trying to suffocate me! I wake up in the middle of the night freezing to death because the stove has gone out. The room is full of gas and I can hardly breathe. But the pipes have been checked, no problem there. It's like I'm the problem, that's what they're thinking.
But how could that be? Duncan was gone, and now this man had almost suffered the same fate? Could it really be a curse? Then I remembered. A rumor I'd heard about the gas companies go around investigating the gas installations.
A rumor? Oh, you mean...
Yes, everybody's heard the stories, it seems. About how they go around checking the pipes. How anything connected to the gas can be extinguished by blowing air into the pipework. That's when it started. A little flicker of doubt in the back of my mind that just wouldn't go away. Was it really an accident, though? Once I'd had the idea, it would leave me alone. Or it wouldn't leave me alone, oopsies. It plagued me day and night. So I bought this at one of the black markets in the East End. A black market? I'd never been. I'd just heard people talk about them. And you really can buy anything you can think of there. In some ways, being able to get my hands on this so easily made me even more determined. I had to find out one way or another. Was Duncan's death an accident, or was it murder? And your chosen method to establish the truth was simple, but highly effective. Smear poison on the gas pipe you suspected the man of tampering with, and wait. If Mr. Shamspear was innocent, nothing would come of what you've done. But if he was guilty, he would pay for his crimes dearly. I found out the name of the man I suspected, William Shamspear. Then I wrote him this little note. Oh, it was your calling card. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It's a matter of utmost importance. So, if he'd done it, I knew that would worry him enough so he'd be sure to go. So I waited to see if it worked. And of course, Mr. Shamspear followed the instructions to the letter. I worked out where the gas pipe was straight away. So I smeared a good amount of the poison I bought all around the mouth of the pipe. All the time praying that the devil's work wouldn't be done, and it was all just some wild fantasy. Actually, no. All the time praying that the devil's work would be done, and that the culprit would get his just deserts. Damn. Fuck, man. That's... I mean, yeah, more power to you, genuinely, because, like, shit.
"3 days ago, when you were first stood in the dock before me, this whole affair seemed relatively straightforward." "Yes, my lord." "I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity that we should subsequently find lurking behind the scenes."
It has been a long road, my Nipponese friend. Oh, yes! And one I certainly didn't envisage walking with you.
Racism!
Maybe. I don't know.
Nevertheless, together we have reached the light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. Miss Green,
Yes, my lord?
you will henceforth be stripped of your freedom as punishment for the attempted murder of Mr. William Shamspear.
Yes, I know.
And you, Mr. Shamspear, will be tried for the murder of Mr. Duncan Ross in cold blood, and the subsequent attempted murder of Mr. Soseki Natsume here present.
Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes?
Yesterday, at the hospital, when you and your friends stopped me from
ending your life by drinking what was left in the poison bottle.
I wasn't myself. I can't even really remember what was going through my mind. To be or not to be, I suppose. That's a question that's so hard to answer, it seems.
Well, personally, I'm glad of your being here, Miss Green.
Oh!
And I'd like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shamspear didn't die when he ingested the poison. For your sake, at the very least.
Aww. Because of you, I chose life, not death. And now you've made the truth come out at last. Really, I can't thank you enough. Oh, Miss Green.
Mr. Soseki Natsume? Yes, my lord! The court declares that you are exonerated from all the blame in this matter. Accordingly, I would call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present a verdict of not guilty. We are in full agreement, my lord. In that case, I hereby declare the defendant not guilty! Fucking fireworks, bitch! Let's go. This is big. Court is adjourned. In other words, fuck off, get out of here.
Let's go! We actually finished the trial. So, like, the second this ends, I'm gonna call it. Like, this little section or whatever. 23rd of February, 3:24 p.m., the Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber.
Oh, yes, at last. Divine justice duly done!
Divine justice? My dear fellow, if there were any divine justice in this world, you would shave that mustache.
No, this has nothing to do with my mustache!
I think I just spit all over my fucking microphone.
Some say that a luxuriant mustache is a sign of physical prowess, Mr. Sholmes.
Locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire! Once again, you've saved me from doom!
I'm very happy to have been able to help, Mr. Natsume. Congratulations on your acquittal. You're second in almost as many days.
I was first acquainted with and gained affection for English literature whilst in our great homeland empire. And then, by a twist of fate, I was brought to the land that bore the fruit of that literature. Only, the city of bricks and mortar became my prison. Try as I might, I never found my feet here. In the end, I confined myself to my room. Lived life through friendly old books.
You've had such a difficult time, haven't you?
But a week ago now, I dragged you out of that dark and dingy room of yours, did I not?
You did. And I've seen more of life in this week than in all my years to date. And for the first time, I feel I've begun to see the true face of the English that's so far been hiding from me behind the wall of fog.
My dear fellow, there is nothing special about the true face of the English as you put it. Wheresoever one goes in the world, humans are human. There are a few genuine differences.
Yes, I think you're right. I finally started to see that, and I've come to understand something. I've worked out why I was attracted to English literature in the first place. It made me see that whatever our nationality, we humans all have the same hopes and fears. We're all just doing our best to live.
Well said. I've come to feel the same way. This is nice.
I've made a decision too. I'm going to cut short my study tour here and return to Japan.
What?
Just when we'd become friends here in England. What a terrible shame.
Oh, I know. That does tug on at my heartstrings, it really does. But I've decided I'd like to take everything I've learned here in Britain and write something of my own. A novel of sorts, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, because in the first chapter of this game, because I didn't stream the first chapter because I was just playing it on my own. Natsume was a author, and he had a book and everything. He was like an actual like author, and he had a book, and he had like people interviewing him and stuff, and it was really cool. Yeah. Oh my, so you'll be creating your own literature, Mr. Natsume? How wonderful!
Oh, well, no, I mean, I wouldn't presume to call it literature.
Why not? When that is precisely the definition, Mr. Mustache.
I suppose you're right, yes. It will, in a way, be literature. But as of now, all I know is that I'd like to try my hand at writing. I have no delusions of grandeur.
I, for one, would love to read your work. Well, all things considered, it may be for the best. After all, you have once again emerged victorious from a battle with the Reaper. That's very true. And there is no salvation for a person in the dock when the Reaper is the prosecutor. The desire to return post-haste to the perceived safety of your homeland is one I quite understand. My goodness, yes! Faced with such a terrifying prospect, nobody would consider that cowardly, I'm quite sure.
But that's not why I'm leaving! I meant it! I mean it! Objection!
And that was the case we found ourselves embroiled in 6 months ago now. Okay, so we're back at... Okay. So Seki-san did indeed return to Japan and submitted a report about both cases to the government. It was on reading that report that Professor Mikotoba was prompted to visit the scholar. And barely any time later, Susato-san was given the news that she must return to Japan as well. On the back of the telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill. The only possible explanation that comes to mind is what happened after the trial on the following day. That day, we uncovered the loot, hidden by the now deceased convict in his former lodgings. Oh, cutscene. Never mind, not cutscene. I thought it wasn't going to be an anime cutscene. 24th of February, 10:13 a.m., Mr. Natsume's room! Oh, well done, Mr. Sholmes. How simply marvelous of you. To uncover the secret hiding place in just one day. Wasn't it supposed to take 30 minutes? And I believe I told you, my dear fellows, skin prints are extremely useful in such situations. Wouldn't you agree, Gregson? Fuck me.
Gregson's been happily munching in agreement this whole time, you know, Harley.
Happily? I think perhaps humorously might be closer to the truth. I dropped something. So it transpires the man fashioned a hiding place in the ceiling. And what's in it? What exactly is the loot? Let us look then, if you are ready. Let's examine the late burglar's hall. Ooh. What the? What is that? Oh, hello, a belt. It looks to be some sort of neckband or collar, and it's bloody as fuck. A collar? It's huge though. Is this like a human collar? Is this like a... Never mind.
And look at all the gemstones set in it. I can see why it was claimed to be worth 1,000 pounds. Perhaps I could have it as a belt.
Oh, have you noticed on the inside there there's some dark stains. Blood. You don't think they could be blood, do you? I mean, there's quite a lot of it. On second thoughts, perhaps I won't have it as a belt. God, I hate doing the Iris voice. Then, of course, there's this emblem here. A large letter B and a small crown. Okay. What does this signify, do you think?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I'm basically doing an Elmo impression here.
I feel as though I've seen that emblem somewhere before, you know? Where could it have been?
That's enough of that, I think. What? What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes? And the color is straight from his face. Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this, aren't you? It could be valuable evidence after all. It must be kept safely under lock and key.
Yes.
Get your grubby hands off that, you lot! Hand it over now!
Okay, alright. This is a little more pushy than usual. I'd never seen a collar that large before. It's for a human. And all those jewels certainly look to be extremely valuable. I'm telling you, it's for a rich human. Or a rich... Never mind. I'm not going to finish that sentence, but you know what I'm thinking. But that's not what stood out the most to me. At least, not once I'd noticed it. Those dark marks on the inside of the collar. Those stains. Could they really have been blood?
Well, that was a funny case, wasn't it? But it's all buttoned up now.
And you look very pleased, Iris.
I am, because I was starting to wonder what I could use as the basis of this month's story in the magazine. But this case will be perfect. It's been so fascinating.
You're talking about the latest installment of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I presume.
The mystery of the knife in the mist. And the mustached man and the convict's curse, perhaps. I can make it a two-part story.
Oh, I can't wait! A word, please, Iris.
Yes? What is it, Hurley?
I'm sorry, but you can't write about this case. It's out of the question.
What? Why not? It's a great case.
Then I shall have to insist that you limit yourself to the first of your two titles. Second must never be written. Convicts, Kurt, and Mustat. What? Why? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, well, Sholmes is definitely suspicious.
And so it was
Oh,
that
God!
the second of Soseki-san's cases became buried in obscurity. Now, looking back, I feel I understand.
I didn't think he'd be forced.
And I can see why Mr. Sholmes forbade Iris from publishing the story.
I don't.
It would take a little longer before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen. For it wasn't until 2 months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again, with an incident that took place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
Oh, right, that was happening. Is it to be continued or a cutscene? Oh,
End.
we finished the case, ladies and gents, and everything in between and outside. Save your current progress. Boom, we're done. The next episode would be episode 3, The Return of the Great Departed Soul. Ooh, interesting. I know for a fact if I go off this, page, it's going to be like, oh, here's the next one, you know? So, we are just going to not do that. And I am going to see if there's anyone I wish to raid, because I am done for today. Thank you to everyone who dropped by. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'll stream this case sooner, because I think last time I streamed was 2 weeks ago. So, hopefully there's something, a little, blah, 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 less, I don't know. I'm having a stroke. I'm just gonna pick a channel. Start raid. Thank you for everyone who came by. I really appreciate it, and I will hopefully see you guys later. All right. Bye-bye.